think would be the case, being an RMT General Secretary. But nevertheless, it is great to be here with London Labour, and even though we're not an affiliated union, we will be continuing to engage with the Labour Party, with Labour activists, yourselves, Labour members, Labour councillors, Labour Assembly members, Labour MPs, and hopefully Labour ministers very quickly, because I want to be clear about one thing. People say a lot about the RMT, about what we believe in. We want a Labour government, we want Starmer to win this election, we want Sadiq Khan to win the mayoral election, because we need power to change our country, and we want to change it for the better. So no matter what our differences are, and I suppose the differences between Lord Mandelson are quite different ends of the spectrum, we are all wanting the same outcome. It's the same when I go and watch the football. There's 40,000 people in the stadium. I don't believe everyone agrees with me, but we do want our team to win. So that's essentially where we are. And this issue here that's behind me, Justice for Cleaners, that's one example. And obviously, we're running a campaign now about cleaners in London, but also nationally in the transport services. And this is true of so many services, whether it's bus services, council provision in care, health service, of course. The NHS is probably the biggest outsourcer of any organisation in our society. And that's got to be addressed. And our campaigns, I think, and the campaigns of the Labour Party, wherever they're in power, whether it's in the parish council to the national government, have to be focused on what our people need. And these are our people. And what we've got is a situation in this country at the minute that is driving people not just into poverty, workplace poverty, but also workplace destitution. Many of our fellow citizens in this country are being driven to levels of poverty now, even while they work, that are unheard of in the modern world and the modern society in Britain. And the task of Labour surely is to get back to the most basic, fundamental that we all believe in, no matter which spectrum of our movement we come from, is the abolition of poverty. And you cannot allow a society where people are working, receiving benefits, and still not making enough money to get by day to day, never mind week by week, or able to plan their lives for their family and their children. And I would put it to you that one of the tasks of the Labour Party is to abolish in-work benefits entirely. Because if you're receiving a benefit while you work, you are not receiving the full value of your labour. And it's the employers that should pay for your standard of living, not the taxpayer through in-work benefits. And it's even more scandalous that we have government organisations such as the NHS and government organisations such as even the civil service and the prison service now, where people are receiving in-service benefits and have got food banks in their workplace. And that's as true for cleaners as it is for everyone else. Because the fact is, we have stripped out terms and conditions. We have stripped out the relationship between the service provider, in this case we're mainly talking about London Transport, and the people providing that service. And Dawn touched on it. During the pandemic, it became clear who the key workers were, but it also became clear who actually generates the wealth in this society. And the purpose of a society, I believe, and we all believe as socialists, is to share that wealth more equally. It's the cleaners of this world that made us safe. It's those Uber drivers and the delivery drivers and the retail and logistics people, the people that are paid the lowest, often in a subcontracted relationship with the brand on the side, if you know what I mean, that are doing the work that is delivering the goods and services and the wealth that we need. And we've got to do something about that. So our message to Labour is, and the message I think all the trade unions are going to be given, yes, it's important to win, and the previous session was about how you win power. But then it's got to be, what do you do with that power when you've got it? And if we look at the past 40 or 50 years almost, since Thatcher came in 79, we've seen this massive redistribution of wealth. The problem about that is, it's been a distribution from the poor to the super rich. And this country now is run by oligarchs. It's run by the super wealthy, and it's run in their interests. And you don't have to be a Marxist to think that or know it. You can see it all around you. There is plenty of wealth in our economy. The problem is, the right people haven't got the money. The money's all in the wrong places. And the mode that they deliver this redistribution is through subcontracted largely in our society. When I left school in '78, I know you wouldn't believe that, everyone virtually worked directly for the employer, for the provider. Everyone on London Transport, on the buses, doing the cleaning, doing the engineering, even the canteens that the workers went to, worked directly for that company. Now, it wasn't exciting money, but there were good conditions. What they also provided, the NHS, British Rail, or London Transport as it was opportunity for newcomers to the country. Often they were migrant workers, people that had come here to make a better life. And even though they weren't the best employers, and I'm not dewy-eyed about that, they did at least provide opportunity for all comers to make their way in society and get promotion. Now, if you're a cleaner, you are stuck literally in a ghetto of subcontracting. You cannot even get a job with London Transport from the cleaners. And you haven't got to be a social scientist again to see the inherent racism and prejudice and discrimination against people from minorities that is involved in subcontracting. And it's taking over our society. And what I want to see in the New Deal for Workers from the Labour Party, which they're committed to, and we really support